Hi, I am F.A.C.S. Samra, and I am a board-certified plastic surgeon here at Samra Plastic Surgery. Like my brothers, I grew up locally here in Holmdel, New Jersey, and attended the Rainey School for my primary education. I then went on to pursue my undergraduate degree at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, and had an awesome experience at Penn, and was even able to study abroad in Cairo, Egypt, which was a really cool experience. I then decided I wanted to pursue medicine, and went on to New York University School of Medicine in Manhattan, where I got a great education in medicine as a whole and amazing exposure to plastic surgery as a field. After deciding I wanted to do plastic surgery, I applied for what's called integrated plastic surgery residencies, which is a very competitive and difficult thing to get. The year that I was applying, there were 125 spots in the nation to match into plastic surgery. And I was extremely fortunate to get one of two spots at the University of Pennsylvania. When I was at Penn, Penn Plastic Surgery is probably the best training program in the country, at least as far as I'm concerned. And I had an amazing experience training at the Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania, which is like the main flagship hospital at Penn, as well as the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, which is next door, and a bunch of other hospitals in and around Philadelphia, learning the breadth of plastic surgery. I was able to get sort of state-of-the-art training in cosmetic surgery, did a huge breadth of complex reconstructive surgery and breast reconstruction. Was exposed to and learned a ton about a lot of pediatric plastic surgery, and for a while I thought I was going to be a pediatric and craniofacial plastic surgeon, and I did a lot of research on that. And then I even learned a little bit of hand surgery while I was there, although I don't practice hand surgery in my current practice. One thing that is cool when I was at Penn, though, is I was able to scrub in on the world's only pediatric hand transplant at CHOP, and that was an amazing experience. I then decided, with the support and help of a lot of my mentors at Penn, that I wanted to pursue a fellowship, which is advanced training in complex reconstructive surgery. And I was really lucky to match at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center's Reconstructive Microsurgery Fellowship, which, again, I think is one of the best in the world. And I spent a whole year there doing nothing but complex cancer reconstruction, day in and day out, and really honing those skills and becoming an expert in that part of plastic surgery. I was then fortunate to be invited to come back and hang out with my family, and I joined our practice in 2019 when I finished my training, and since then have done my best to take us to even another level of serving our community and offering the latest and greatest in all of both reconstructive and cosmetic surgery to our patients. So why did I go into plastic surgery? When you're the youngest sibling, you have the advantage of seeing your older siblings come before you, and you get to sort of learn from them. And while many assume that I went into plastic surgery because my father's a plastic surgeon and two of my brothers became plastic surgeons and that was the only path forward, the reality is that it's actually the opposite. And I vividly remember wanting to do anything but plastic surgery because it was sort of overplayed and overdone, and I should be my own person, because when you're the youngest sibling, you want to be your own person. But I had the great fortune of going to NYU for medical school, and for anybody who knows anything about academic plastic surgery, NYU is an incredibly strong powerhouse in the world of plastic surgery. And I was incredibly fortunate to be exposed to some of the most influential names in plastic surgery and pioneers in the field, to the point that I vividly remember the first case I ever did as a medical student in plastic surgery, and it was with the editor-in-chief of one of our primary textbooks in plastic surgery. And it was just an incredible place where I was introduced to the complexity and the breadth and the magic of plastic surgery. And so, when I decided I wanted to be a plastic surgeon, I really dedicated my life to that, and it has been incredibly rewarding for me as a plastic surgeon because I love what I do. I do work a lot, and I get teased for working a lot, but I do derive an incredible pleasure and sense of purpose out of being a plastic surgeon, whether it's with cosmetic patients or reconstructive patients. The bonds that we form with our patients are incredibly meaningful, and while in general I don't save patients' lives, I improve my patients' quality of life. And I do so in a way that, for example, with cancer reconstruction, helps them put their cancer diagnosis behind them, or with cosmetic surgery, helps them put their insecurities behind them. And these are things that are incredibly fulfilling when we have these very happy patients that come back and share with us all of the meaningful differences that we've made in their lives and allowed them to live happier, healthier lives. And that to me is amazing, and it's why I love being a plastic surgeon. Outside of work, although I do work a lot, outside of work I generally like to spend time with my family. And one of the places that I love to spend time with my family is Costco. And there's a sort of funny story behind this, because when I was a kid, I would go to Costco with my dad. It used to be Price Club, and then it became Costco, and I would always joke around about how Costco is our home away from home. And I would go there with my dad, and he would see his patients, walking the aisles, as he was such a symbol in our community. And it was, "Hi, Dr. Samra, hi, Dr. Samra," and I was just this kid hanging out with my dad. And now I take my kids to Costco, and I see my patients, as I'm going through the halls, and I stop in the Costco cafeteria and I stuff their mouths with Costco pizza and ice cream, and it's just funny to me how everything comes full circle. But anyway, outside of work, I like to spend time with my family. I am a snowboarder, and I'm learning how to ski again, and so I'll take my kids and my wife up to the mountains to go skiing. We have been going to Long Beach Island ever since I was a little kid, and actually proposed to my wife on Long Beach Island, and so that place is very special to us. And so in the summer we like to go to LBI. And I have two little kids. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, so life basically revolves around them. And so whenever I'm out of work, I just try to be the best dad I can be, so I can try to further follow the footsteps of my own father.